is your favorite?
Instagram is my favorite. I really don't like social networking for the just chatting part of it. It's very good to be connected to people, but Twitter just seems like a lot of noise to me. I don't want to be in the thoughts of millions of people. It's just too cluttered. It feels to me like when Jean Grey sort of lost control of her power, and she was hearing everyone's thoughts at one time. She couldn't deal with it. It's just all this noise coming at her, and she almost just breaks down, right? Because it's just clutter of information. But I love pictures. I love photography as a hobby, so I love Instagram. But the hardest part for me about my social media or my Instagram is to explain to other people that it's art and that it's not a promotional tool. Look at social media from their perspective. So there's a real interesting interview with Kevin Hart on Power 105, which is one of our radio stations in New York, where when the Sony email leaks happened, one of the people in Sony was sort of having a conversation with someone else and saying, oh, Kevin Hart is greedy. And what Kevin Hart then went on to the radio and explained was what they're talking about is that they wanted him to tweet out consistently about the movie, to utilize the millions of people that follow him as an extra promotional tool for the movie. And he goes on to say, like, okay, I'm an actor. You hired me to act in a movie. So yes, I'm gonna go do your press stops, I'm gonna go sit on the couches, I'm gonna do the TV interviews, but my social media is my social media.
Yeah.
So if you want those other millions of people, that's another check. Now you're putting me in the promotion department of your...
That's not my job.
That's not my job.
Yeah.
You have someone in the promotions department. So since we haven't defined those roles, people can look at that from a bunch of different ways. Yes, if you're in the movie, I'm going to tweet it out, yes, but are there requirements onto how many times I tweet?
Or what to tweet.
Or what I tweet. Or the manner in which I represent your company, because it's that movie, but it's actually my social media. So I run into that problem. You know what I mean? Like, my Instagram is for my pictures. So if a promoter hires me to do a party, right? I DJ all over the world. They'll ask me to tweet out or to put on Instagram something about the party, which is very normal. I say, okay, I'll do it on Twitter. My manager runs my Twitter because I don't care about Twitter. So he'll tweet the party. Then a week before the party, they're gonna ask me every day to tweet it at least like 10 different times. So where's the line? How do you draw the line with that? It's just, some of the negative parts. Some of the positive parts is just the fact that you can sort of connect the whole world. But it's connected in a very short 140 character thing. And that's very good for writers and creatives that are good at explaining themselves in 140 characters. Chuck D said Twitter is perfect for rappers because they know how to verbalize what they want to say in these little short things. But I'm not a rapper. When I explain things, I sort of ramble, and it's not rambling just to ramble, it's giving you all this background information because I'm a teacher, so I make sure each one of my students understands exactly what I'm saying, and every one of my students has a different learning style. So I give you all this information, which probably doesn't fit too well in 140 characters, or I'm not gonna fully explain myself in 140 characters. So that's sort of the negative of it. But the connectivity of the whole world is a great thing. And the ability that we have in terms that where we've watched social revolutions and how we can use Twitter and Instagram and Facebook and all these other things to see very direct social change. Hey guys, we're gonna meet at this place to protest this. We watched what happened in Egypt. We watched, all these things would not have been possible without social media. But it's how we use those things. And then we also see the troll behavior of human beings, being that we're not having face-to-face communication.
You spoke about X-Men. Who's your favorite character?
Wolverine, and then recently X-23.
X-23?
Yeah. If you'd have asked me that years ago, it would have probably been a different answer.
All right.
But the thing that and believe me, I don't just jump on Wolverine because it's the most popular character. My father was a comic book collector. I have X-Men 1 in mint condition, you know,
fire case.
Yeah, wrapped up, everything. My father was a huge comic book collector. I have Thor 1, I have Black Panther 1, all these things, right?
Dope.
What I like about where the Wolverine character has gone is that initially Wolverine was the anti-hero, and he was the least likely person to lead the X-Men. But because Cyclops, when Jean Grey left, for lack of a better word, just became a simp and like couldn't function. You watch the maturation of Wolverine turn into the leader of the X-Men, and he starts to sort of raise the next generation of X-Men, and you watch him become the father figure when Storm was really supposed to be the next sort of like leader of Professor X's school, right? But you watch him love the children so much that he creates X-Force, where he's like, okay, I'm gonna separate y'all from all the murder. So X-Force, we're the people that's gonna go out and just kill. Because Wolverine has to kill. That's part of Wolverine's character. But he loves the kids so much that he separates the whole thing. So then the interjection of X-23 sort of puts Wolverine in this direct father figure role of raising this girl and watching her, should I say, just path and transformation of discovering who she is. And that question of, because of the fact that she was taken from Wolverine, so you know who X-23 is?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Because of the fact that she was cloned from Wolverine, she doesn't really have direct parents to raise her, and it raises that ultimate question of what makes us human, which is inevitably in all sci-fi and all comics and all everything, that is the basic question. What makes us human? The human experience is the thing that ties together all sci-fi.